Hey guys, I'm struggling with figuring out how to start this, how to make this, what to say. I this last week, watching a black man get murdered by a white cop, watching that white lady freak out at a black guy in Central Park. I mean, I realize even from up here in Alaska, where it seems distant to me, like race is an issue. All of us have to talk about if we're gonna figure this out, and so I'm trying to find words for feelings I don't understand, for ideas that are new. And last night, as my wife and my son and I were sitting around at the dinner table, an idea hit me, and that was like how us sitting there was an example of white privilege. And I don't mean, being able to sit around a dinner table and share a meal together under a warm roof with good food on the table. Um, you know, Families of all colors have that: black, white, brown, yellow, whatever, red. But we all have that. But what I'm getting at is like our topic of conversation. We weren't talking about. My son doesn't have a clue what's going on down south. He doesn't know anything about the protests. He doesn't know anything about white brutality against blacks. He doesn't know anything about the murder of George Floyd or Breonna Taylor or Ahmaud Arbery or, you know. And the fact that I don't have to talk to him about that, the fact that last night we could sit around the dinner table and talk about Minecraft and going over to grandma's house, and him not wanting to do schoolwork over the summer, like that's white privilege at its finest. And I don't know, it's like black parents don't have that privilege. I tried to imagine what it would look like if our skin was a darker color, what we would be talking about last night, and I couldn't even begin to imagine how a black parent would have that conversation with their almost 8-year-old son or daughter. It's like, as a white parent up here in Alaska, I have the privilege of raising my son in a world that, like, he's able to hold on to that childhood innocence where race isn't a thing, where people of a different color are just people who look different. They're people who just like we all dress different, or we all like different things. Some of us have different hair, some of us have different skin, some of us have different clothes on our body. I don't know. He has that privilege, and black kids don't. Black kids, from the minute they're born, are born into a world that sees their color first. As that's the first thing someone sees. And so I hear black people, if I hear anything from these protests, it's black people crying out to white people for us to change. Every single one of us, 100 million plus white people in this country, have an obligation to black people, have a responsibility to ourselves and to our children and the future generations that we always talk about, to be part of the change. I got and so what I mean by that, like, just as white people in general, it starts with not asking how we are justifying or telling ourselves all the different ways we're not a racist, but looking back at our past, at ourselves now, and how we see the future, and asking ourselves, what have we done to be racist? How have I harmed somebody of a different color for no other reason than what they look like? The hostile stares, crossing over on the other side of the street, passing someone up for a promotion or a job, or falsely accusing somebody, or just knowing that there's a problem in black America with police brutality, and turning a blind eye or assuming it's somebody else's problem. I think us white parents have a responsibility to our kids, to black kids, to our country, in how we raise our white children. And what I mean by that, racism in general regardless of who it's directed at, racism is learned. It's not something we're born with, Kids aren't born thinking white kids aren't born thinking black people are wrong or different or less than. That's taught. And if it can be taught, it can be untaught, and something else can be taught in its place. I think one way, one thing white parents also need to consider is, am I exposing my kids to black voices? And if I'm not, why not? And how am I keeping my kids from hearing those voices? Do I keep my kids from listening to rap music because I don't like the message, or because reasons I don't understand? Do I keep my kids from watching black entertainers, black movies, black comedians, or reading black books or black art, or black clothing because I don't like it, or I think it sends the wrong message? Think about that shit. I see a lot wrong. I see a country that is broken, that is stressed, that is hurting, that is sick, that is scared and anxious. I mean, this has been a crazy couple months, I guess one thing I'm asking for everybody is to cut one another some slack. We've been through a lot. This has been a rough period for us. This is going to be a long summer, and I think we, if nothing else, understand that we are all frustrated. I think frustration is the one thing that unites every American of any color, any age, any race, any ethnicity, religion, orientation, whatever. We're frustrated, and we don't know what to do, and I don't know. But I wouldn't make this video if I didn't think there was hope, if I didn't think that there was hope for a world where our differences are celebrated, if I didn't think there was hope for a world where everyone can be who God made him or her or they or it to be, a world where we can't just be who we are, but we can be proud of who we are and where we came from. Like a world and a country where liberty and justice for all isn't just a hollow, empty phrase we say because it's in the Pledge of Allegiance, but it's something we live and breathe and we fight for. That's what makes us work. And when we don't live that, when those words are dead and empty, we don't work. And so, young people specifically, again, any colors, we're desperate for you. We need your help. Step up. We need leaders, and we need young leaders. This is a passing of a generation. This is about us millennials and COVID kids stepping up and leading this new world. We have the power to make this change. We have the power now to make this our world, to make it better. I don't know. And then I guess just remember that the world is watching. The world needs us. The world needs us to do something different. The world needs America to live, to not be taught, man. Let's do it. And I don't know what else do I say? What else can we say? There's nothing to be said. It's time to do. Thank you.